What's up? Tech Bro Charlie here, and welcome back to where we take awesome out of the box. Now today we're going to be doing a full review on the OPPO Reno6 Z 5G. Elle and I have had the OPPO Reno6 series phones for a hot minute. So of course we have to do the usual tests so we can tell you guys if the phones are worth buying. And here's my full review on the OPPO Reno6 Z 5G and why you'd want to buy this phone. Okay, so I already talked about the basic stuff like packaging and the first impressions, and you can check that out up here. But yeah, full package here since we get the documentation, jelly case, charging brick, USB-C cable, and complete with a pair of earphones. So if you're planning to get this or you're planning to gift this to someone as their first ever smartphone, you're gonna be very happy because you have a full package here. So I was singing praises about the back panel of this phone in my first video, and after a while of using it, I'm happy to say that it does feel really good to hold in the hands. Especially with those rounded edges. Some of the newer phones like the Reno6, the main one, have flat edges and they dig into your palms and can get uncomfortable after a certain period of time. But what I love the most about this back panel is that after a long day out, it didn't get smudges and it still looked really clean. Although again, we're getting a single firing speaker, so not the loudest audio, but I didn't notice any clipping on max volume. Here's a sample for reference. On the front, we have a 6.4-inch AMOLED display, so that means vibrant colors and deep blacks for some great videos. Plus, things from games to the interface will be sharp as a tack thanks to the full HD Plus resolution. Not to mention, because of the AMOLED display, we get a fingerprint scanner on the screen. It's just a bit sad though that we don't get any special protection or a smoother 90Hz display, so you're stuck with the standard 60Hz. But I digress. Picture-wise, I still think it's a great display. Now for the cameras, we have a 64-megapixel main camera, 8-megapixel wide, and 2-megapixel macro. Quality-wise, I was very happy. Things seem to be consistent throughout all the cameras. I was especially happy with the 2-megapixel macro because despite the low pixel count, it took good shots with lots of detail. That's not to say that the main and the wide-angle cameras were slouches in any way. Color replication was accurate and it took pictures worthy for Instagram. And portrait mode had some great background isolation, plus this can be further enhanced with bokeh flare portrait. Whenever people look for those camera or lens reviews, they always look for those creamy bokeh balls. This is a more cost-efficient and easy way to get those. In my opinion, they look pretty natural and they don't look like a layered effect or a filter. And on top of all that, even in low light, I still got decent detail with some usable shots. And for the last camera, we have a 32-megapixel selfie camera. These also took great shots and also feature the same effects I mentioned earlier. So yeah, good snappers on the front and the back ensures that dual view video will be a very useful feature, especially for vloggers, since it does use the cameras on the front and the back at the exact same time. Inside, we have a MediaTek Dimensity 800U 5G paired with 8GB RAM and 128GB expandable storage. It's a pretty good setup and runs ColorOS 11.1 smoothly with no problems at all. I didn't run into any OS bumps during my time with the phone. To recap, the Dimensity 800U processor is a variation of the Dimensity 800 used on the Reno4 Z. The main difference is that the 800U has a 2x6 core configuration instead of a 4x4 configuration, with the 2 cores clocked at 2.4 GHz. And while the Dimensity 800U positions itself as a mid-range 5G processor, its gaming performance is not as impressive. Based on data obtained from GameBench, the Reno6 Z posted a lower FPS stability on Call of Duty, even if it does push the average FPS to 60 in the game's maximum possible settings. Now on Genshin Impact, the Reno6 Z does fine in the game's default low settings, with an average FPS of 28 at 97% stability. But it does go down to an average FPS of 27 at 85% stability when set to medium. Compared to the OnePlus Nord and Nord CE that rock a Snapdragon 765G and 750G respectively, the Reno6 Z is a close match for both in Genshin Impact and low and medium graphics at 30 FPS. However, the Dimensity 800U falls flat when we attempted to run Genshin Impact at 60 FPS and low graphics. So it really isn't the best phone for heavy gaming. Powering the phone is a 4310 mAh battery that lasted us 10.5 hours. It's an okay battery and it should get you a day's worth of use, but again, not really for heavy gaming. And if you ever do need to charge midday, we have 30-watt VOOC Flash Charge 4.0, which should top things up quickly since we got from 10 to 80% in 40 minutes. So there you have it, our full review on the OPPO Reno6 Z 5G. For me, it's a good phone, but I'd personally grab it for the cameras. It sports a lot of great features which vloggers are sure to love. And although yes, it can play games, you might need to tone down the graphics a little bit for Genshin Impact and heavier games. But for the price of 19,999 pesos, I think it's a good buy. And if you're after great cameras, you can't go wrong. You can find more tech reviews on Unbox PH. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Yup, subscribe because when you hit 250k subs, we're giving away a smartphone. So don't forget to use the hashtag #SubToUnbox. Hit the notification icon if you want to get them updates when we drop videos. Once again, it's your tech bro Cholo, and I'll see you guys in the next one.